Seahawks One-on-One has to be my favorite conversation of the week because it is our chance to show the personality that you might not be able to see from some of your favorite Seahawks. Now, we are going to talk some football, but Brady Russell, he is more than football. You are a standout in so many different ways. And here's what I want to start this conversation with.
Let's hear it.
Who would play you in a movie? Not because they look like you, but just because that's who you wish would play you in a movie.
I'm bad with actors and stuff. I think the guy that played Thor. That seems like a good choice, right?
I mean, it does. I can see some resemblance, yeah.
What's his name?
I'm terrible. Don't put me on the spot, Brady. That was my question to you. Don't put me on the spot, but Chris Hemsworth. I should have known that. Thanks, NASA, for the assist on that one. And you just chose him specifically because, you kind of look like...
Mostly looks, build.
Yeah.
Might be overshooting myself a little bit, but aren't you supposed to do that?
Totally. Here's what I was thinking. You were going to have to pick somebody that was pretty versatile because you are a very versatile player. Chris Hemsworth probably fits that bill.
I think he seems versatile.
Well, we're going to call him versatile for the purpose of this conversation. I always think of you, though, as a special teams standout. With that in mind, what has been your favorite special teams play of the season?
Favorite special? I mean, it has to be Rashid's punt return against the Rams. That was just like, I guess the kick return against Atlanta kind of did the same thing, but it just shifted the whole tide of the game. And that's kind of something we pride ourselves on in special teams is like it might be really few opportunities, but like seizing every single one of them.
I might actually say that return against the Rams didn't just change everything for that game. Didn't it change everything in the building and around the team since then? Or am I reading too much into that?
I don't know if I want to take too much credit from the rest of the team and the things that they do, but it definitely gave us a good opportunity to go and capture the 1 seed, which we ended up doing.
When you are practicing, right, you practice how these returns are going to be blocked, right? You have an idea of what you're going to encounter. But how often when you're practicing do you expect things to go according to plan and actually get to the end zone on those plays?
I think that's one of the cool things with Jay is he's so good at painting the picture and maybe showing us clips of what it could look like and where there's seams and where there's openings and different things we can take advantage of on the other team. So when we go out there, like I guess we've had 2 punt return touchdowns on the year, is that right? But I feel like every time we call a return, I'm expecting it to go a long ways. Maybe not the end zone every time, but I'm expecting it to work. So.
Okay, so put me in that special teams meeting room. When you say Jay is showing you what it could look like, he's taking clips and he is like slowing them down. He's freeze framing them. He's showing you where that is, or is he doing this a different way, right? Is it just a different way to look at film?
Yeah, I could watch film all day by myself and I might not see it the way that he sees it, and he can show a clip of like what the other team's responsibilities are on that play. And it's like, if you take advantage of this guy here and this guy here and we block them this way or expand them out that way, then you can see the picture of how it would open up. So that's exactly what's happened.
Is that one of the reasons why this unit feels special? In addition to what you told me earlier this year with guys just take it really seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is. I think taking it really seriously, you don't see that from almost anyone around the league. I think we've had like 2 or 3 pile pushes on special teams this year. I don't think there's probably been another one of those where everybody gets by on their turn and starts pushing them like it's a fullback dive or something. So it's special to be a part of a group that cares that much, and you can see it when you watch a clip. Like there's 11 Seahawks all still flying around when the whistle's blown versus some guys on the other team that might be starting to slow down, walk in or jog in or not putting in full effort. And that's why you see usually those punt return touchdowns, like other teams have opportunities to maybe do the same thing, but their guys aren't straining to go get that last block downfield. It's the touchdown block or whatever it might be.
Certainly that points to the fact that this team is special in a lot of ways, right? You have a lot of very driven individuals who are coming together for the good of the team. But was there a conversation that needed to take place back in OTAs or at any point that says, this is what we're going to do? Or was it just kind of a collective energy that just started moving in that direction?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's kind of just the culture that Mike's painted for us and everybody's embraced so much, because it's not like one conversation you can point it back to or one play or whatever it is. It's just the forming of our identity, I guess, as a whole team and like what we're going to stand for and what we're going to be about. And everybody's so bought in on that, and you can see it by the big plays that we've had or whatever else it might be.
Can't you also see it in the number of guys who want to take part of special teams?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't know if there's any fights to get on any of the teams, but it feels like people want to be a part of that. You're not relegated to special teams. It's not something that I have to do. It's something, didn't you say earlier, like you take pride in doing hard things, and that's one of the hardest things you can do in football? Yeah,
absolutely. And it's cool because it's like if a guy gets called up from practice squad and they're just playing special teams or something, it's not like, oh, I'm just coming to like be one of the guys that's just standing out there on special teams. Like they're excited and they're wanting to get out there and like be. You might not ever have an opportunity in a game on special teams to actually change it, but if you play every play as if it is that opportunity, then one of them might spark and you might be the touchdown blocker. You might be the big tackle for loss on kickoff or whatever it might be.
If we had captains, I'd have to think that you were a special teams captain. Like, that's what I have in my mind. But we do captains here a little bit differently, and they get announced before every game. Mm-hmm. When you get a chance to be a captain, does that make it even more special? Because it is a week to week. Coach saw something in you in practice or in a game that led to that decision.
It is special, and it's just cool that it gives opportunities to more guys to step into leadership roles, and because you might not always have opportunities to speak necessarily, but every week when you're a captain, you're getting an opportunity at the end of practice to break the team down and like give a word if you got one or say something to the team. So it's special when you get recognized and you get that honor.
What have some of the words been? Have any of your teammates kind of surprised you? Like some of those quiet guys that we don't hear from all the time. Have any of them surprised you in breaking down the huddle?
Oh, gosh, that's a lot during the season.
I know. I'm asking you for some recall here at the end of a very long season.
I don't know if I have all that recall, but there's definitely been some wise words given and people with a lot more going on in their mind than you'd imagine them having. So,
well, they don't get a chance to share very often, and they have to. We talk about special teams with you, but you were also involved in this offense, and we have seen you do a number of things over the last few years. Was it always your intent to be involved in as many different aspects of the game as possible?
I think that's probably exactly what my intent has been since getting to the NFL, is just like finding every little role that I can and trying to take that. And like obviously a lot of them haven't worked out. Like, I mean, if I could, I'd want to be the starting every position on the field I could think of. But that's not, I haven't always seized every opportunity. But then when given one, I'd like to make the best of it so that I can, like, even if it's one play in the game, that I just get a little role. Like that could be a huge play. You never know.
Timeout. You said you haven't seized every opportunity. Mm-hmm. I've always seen ethic and intent there, like work ethic and intent there. Is it just that you hadn't found your specialized role yet, or do you really think that you missed opportunities along the way?
I mean, I think every NFL player would say they missed opportunities, whether it's like one dropped ball back in training camp or like whatever it might be. It's not necessarily that the effort and the intent isn't there, but there's definitely things I'd love to taken advantage of and taken control of and taken as my responsibility, but for whatever reason they don't work out. So, I mean, yeah, I'd say I've missed opportunities, but I'd also say I've taken advantage of a ton of them too, and that's why I've found myself to be able to stay on the team as long as I have.
Well, you were a tight end at one point, which meant that you got to go to tight end with Greg Olsen. What was the most eye-opening experience about being with all the other tight ends in the NFL?
I don't know if it's even eye-opening, but my first year at tight end like it was just really, really cool how, like, even the big name guys, like everybody just wants to be, like, they're just super normal guys and wants to talk to you and pour into you and invest into you. And I've just formed some friendships and stuff from that. And it's, I think it's really special because I don't really think there's another position group like that out there. Well,
then they have you listed as fullback this year, and you want to talk about a smaller group of players than tight ends. There's fewer fullbacks in the league than any place else. It's a really cool position, but when they move you, does that create any sort of like football identity crisis for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think that's kind of an example of trying to take advantage of whatever opportunity might be given. Like, I wasn't going to be in the tight end room, so they tried to slide me in somewhere else and give me an opportunity somewhere else. So I guess it's kind of fitting for the football road I've been on.
Well, how much can you point back to your walk-on years as having that whole mentality?
It's funny you say that. My redshirt freshman year was all I really did in training camp was fullback, lining up in I formation, which like I didn't ever do a whole lot of in games, but that is something that I did. I don't know.
Well, it all kind of comes full circle. And how many different times did you move growing up? You moved around a lot.
I don't know. Yeah, but it was all before I was 6. Because my dad was military, and then he didn't want us. He went to like 10 schools in 12 years. He didn't want us to have that kind of childhood. So he ended up getting a house in Colorado and then just commuting to wherever he was stationed in the military when I was about 6 years old. But before that, it was California. And then when I was 6 weeks old, my mom had to drive from California to Florida with me and my 2 brothers to move for the military. So it's California, Florida, Arkansas, Kansas, and then Colorado.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
Being part of this community with the 12s must also feel pretty special.
It is.
That was a much shorter answer than I was expecting on that one, but I could have done a better job with the question. I believe you started going shirtless in pregame warm-ups in college. Is that right?
I did do it in college, but then they started making us wear our numbers at warm-up, so I couldn't anymore. It was like a legal thing. I wasn't allowed to be out there shirtless.
You weren't allowed to be shirtless. You were distracting far too many people being shirtless. Okay. Please tell me how that helps you get ready for the game. And if we're in like Tampa and it's sunny and 70, hey, I can totally see this. Yeah. It's a little different as we get later in the year. How does this help you prepare for the game?
I guess the biggest thing is probably just feeling like myself. Like I don't know. I do everything at my house. I'm doing yard work shirtless, or I try to be in the sun and stuff as much as possible. And even if it's not sunny, like I just want to be out in the weather. I don't know. I don't know how it helps necessarily. It might not help, but I enjoy it.
I was not expecting the revelation that you go shirtless all the time when you are not at the facility. So that's a new one for me. So with that in mind, coldest pregame you have ever experienced without a shirt on?
I think Washington State. Every time we played at Wazoo was miserable weather. Like every time it would be like snowing, like half rain, half snow, and it's not a ton of fun.
I can't think it's a ton of fun to put on your pads if you're frozen either. Like, do you feel?
Well, I don't think I get as cold because my body's actually producing heat. Everybody else has artificial heat. I guess this is part of it. Like when everybody's wearing coats on the sideline, like I always wave off the coat because I don't want to have artificial heat. And then you take the jacket off and you're cold. Like I'm just warm myself. I don't need heat.
I really wish that was a philosophy I could go with, but I'm freezing
real.
And I'm now I'm a wuss and I'll take the coat and the warmer. A couple more questions for you. What would your career have been if you hadn't have been a football player?
That's a great question. That I think if it was straight out of high school, I probably would have. I think I would have enlisted and gone in the military. But knowing that I wanted to go play football, I had to go to school. And then after school, I don't know. I have a few buddies that are firefighters. I think that would have been a fun path. My brother's in oil and gas. I might have followed him out there. I don't really know because I didn't necessarily have a backup plan, if you will. I didn't want a backup plan because if you have a plan B, then your plan A won't work.
Also, a unique way to look at that. I see the versatility coming through and your possible career choices after football. Lastly, what is the movie or show that scared you most as a kid?
I went to see Spider-Man with my grandparents. They took us, and the Green Goblin terrified me. I had to leave the theater.
We're talking about the Spider-Man that just came out
15
years ago?
Oh, yeah. You said just came out. I thought you were going to say a recent one. Just came out. Isn't that
No, but I'm saying
I mean, maybe 20 now.
Okay, well, way to make me feel. Thanks so much for making me feel old, Brady. But Green Goblin, you left the
feel old too.
Theater. You left the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Did your grandparents come out with you, or did they finish?
I think my grandma probably came out. There's no way she let me go on my own.
That's true. Well, it's hard to imagine you being scared of anything. In fact, I think opponents are terrified when they see you line up with the Seahawks special teams unit. Thank you, Brady, for a little one-on-one conversation.
Absolutely.
We'll let you off the hot seat.
Thanks for having me.